Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother, Love Ruthie. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Mother, 1944, Part 7. 818 13th Street, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. July 12th, 1944. My dearest mother. Hi, honey. Gee, I'm sorry I haven't written sooner, but it is simply terrific the way things pile up. At the moment I am 4 assignments behind in art, and the way it looks the art teacher from Saskatoon might only pull off a C at the terminus of the course, whereas some little country teacher will fly through with an A, and will Ruthie blush. Honest, Mom, I still think of you so much and love you more than anyone in the world. I loved your letter, and I am so very proud of you being a delegate. For what convention? I presume the CCF, but where, when, and why? Make it good, eh? I was very pleased with Ruth's wedding invitation, and will be down Friday night, the 21st, if it's okay. I know I should write, but could you accept for me, please? And explain the way it is. I want to get a new dress, but the only one I fell in love with was $16.95. I would. What do you think you would prefer, green or yellow? As I won't look at anything else. Marion has a white jersey, which is a dream. I don't know whether Connie elaborated on the trip or not, but hope she told you about the snaps. As you will see by the negatives, it was the fault of the camera in a few places. I was sorry about it. The other snap Marion took one Sunday before I went to Pines. Mother, I know I shouldn't say this, and don't say anything, but Connie didn't fit in very well up here. She's a nice girl, but she seems to lack a definite personality. We gave her a fairly good time, I think, but she didn't make an awfully good impression. You'll have to let me know her opinions, if any. Honest, though, I wish she'd have realized that we are just school teachers, not millionaires. I realize I invited her up and ought to pay for it, and boy did I. One night we even bought ice cream, cake, and ginger ale before bed. And did she offer to pay anything? No. All she did was once bought some cherries, but she bought $9 shoes and borrowed the $2, which I hope she gave you, of that. Would you visit Alice at Williams and give her $1.50, please? She'll be gone by Saturday, so maybe you could make it before that I hope, or send Bud with it, please. Anyway, Connie did make our lunches. I know it sounds babyish, but we keep track of groceries, and boy does it ever count up with another person on the bill. Tell me if you think I'm an awful cat, but the way the Georges led on they're so wonderful, I mean financially, and she had to buy the best shoes in the store, but never even bought me so much as a Coke. Live and learn, and I have. Another Ethel, what? Better not let Pop read this. Another thing, I just about croaked when she went into Parrot's kitchen and said, "Oh, what a lovely kitchen." That's what Mother says the kitchen is where she spends most of her day. True, but that goes unsaid. Mrs. Parrott said, "Oh, I'm glad you think it's nice." Oh, dear. Oh, I finally got a letter from Marshall. Really swell. 12 pages. He didn't know where I would be this summer, so sent it to 926 Saskatchewan Crescent for his mother to forward. His cable was lost, but his mother had a 1-page air letter last week written the same time as mine. He's okay, in southeast of England and a capitalist already. 12 dozen chocolate bars to sell at 20 cents each, among other things. They sell bananas at 5 pounds each. He's terribly mercenary. Bought a third watch for himself at Lachine, $86, watertight, etc., etc. About half a page on the old watch. Anyway, he can sell the others for about 30 pounds or $135 each. His pop would like that. We had quite a talk Sunday on labor unions. What do I know about it anyway? He sure thinks I'm radical, but still likes me, I guess. Maybe, anyway. He's going to give me a chicken. Saw Mrs. Campbell today. Norm is in the Navy now and was asking about me, so I said I must go over. So she said, Yes, you come over, and then we'll go out and find him, or I'll have him over too. Sure cute. How's your hair? How is the tea? I love you. You're swell. Oh, we had our fortune told while Connie was here, and I am very temperamental, unhappy at the moment with no reason to be. No comment, please, Bud. I've been very fortunate in life and will continue to be so. I am a woman of two loves. One is very selfish and dark. I will be tempted to marry within 10 months, but please don't, for even if I do, in about 2 years I will meet someone who will predominate whether I am married or not. I have a strange fascination for men. You can cough now, Bud, but I'm not really the marrying type. I belong to the world. I have a career and am on the right path. However, I will get married, but please don't for at least 2 years or I will be disappointed. Oh, and I won't live in Saskatoon for the rest of my life, nor will I marry anyone I know now. My family are going to make a change for the better and be happier. That's the drift, which reminds me. I suppose the house fell through again, what? Thought I perked up Connie up a bit anyway. She actually bought leg paint and the shoes were nice. I suppose her hair was flat again by the time she got home. Boy, is she in a rut. She seemed more dull and more awkward up here than she does in Regina. Good muse, I guess. Hope you'll write soon and I'll do better after this. Hi, Bud. Thanks for the letter. It was really appreciated. Still think you're the swellest brother in the world, even if Georgie can study more. Sure glad we saw just enough, not too much of each other, 'cause the way it is now I still would like to see you again, which proves something. How is the job? Recreation? House? I'm looking forward to seeing my two both on the 22nd. Love and more, Ruth. P.S. Really enjoyed seeing June O'Reilly. Very nice visit. Lots of normal kids up here and most of them jealous. Some guys, foreign or 4Fs or underage, sure can't stand them. The girls are mostly bags. I can't talk. Do you recall me speaking of Bob? Got a letter informing me that his brother is missing. Have you heard from Estevan yet? Wonder if Bev's on leave. Don's F.O. How is he? I worked a couple of afternoons helping Miriam in the office. Just friendly-like, but I felt quite proud of myself working the adding machine. Bet I could be an accountant, balancing books, etc. Boring, though. Marion and I have white shorts and wear our leg tan up to our hips now. One and only way for me to get a tan. Looks cute, though. Marion's red blouse looks so darling with the white shorts. I just love my green jersey blouse. Buy again, Ruth. 667 University Drive, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, September 28, 1944. She's 20 years old. Dearest Mother, hi, honey. How's the best mother in the world? Swell to get your letter and hear about the latest parties, etc. I really planned on writing sooner, but sometime we'll manage to get back into our old routine in which I get your letter Saturday. Sure miss that. Anyway, maybe next week? Gee, would that ever be swell if you do get up with the Newmans. Let me know the moment you do know, please. It was nice you had the family reunion. I'd have liked to have seen them and my cousins, eh? Yes, I sent Grandma a card. Sure too bad about the Georges. Guess you're the best manager after all. Ferguson's in the same boat too. I must write Connie. We're still happy about our place and have acquired a radio. Really a cute little portable. Rented because we can't buy one. No, I haven't seen Lottie at all. Didn't get to church Sunday. We went out to Defoe 2:30 Saturday and got back 6 o'clock Sunday morning. Slept until 3, went to the services club until 8:30, and then from there some kids took us to the rec center. We had a very nice weekend all told. Oh, Marion had a swell party Friday, too. Nice chocolate cake, inscribed, etc. The dance at Defoe was a lot of fun, too, and I really enjoyed myself. There was a busload of girls from Regina, too, and 2 busloads from Saskatoon. 80 girls, 500 airmen. Val, the kid I know, is from Vancouver. Quite a wolf. 45 hostesses, and 10 of us who were invited by the kids. I know a few from Regina, but of course wasn't talking to any. I was thinking of taking the Regina bus back and spending Sunday with you and coming back midnight, but didn't have a railway certificate. I plan on going out for the Halloween dance, so I'll try to have one and maybe come then. I suppose there won't be a bus from Regina then. Anyway, we had quite a time. There was a nice floor show from Winnipeg. The kids were going to come in this weekend, but haven't got a leave so far. Marion's expecting Roger home on sick leave, so she's happy. We went to the show, home in Indiana Tuesday, and a home nursing thing last night. Mr. Downer said he was glad to see us, etc. It's a 12-week course, and since I have my first aid certificate, can belong to St. John's Division if I pass this. Won't hurt me. Marion is trying to get me not to go. Says it's old maidish. However, she didn't pass her first aid, so that's why. Anyway, we'll see. I suppose it is dull. Still, varsity opens next week. I still don't know what class to take. The way I feel now, I'd rather not take anything. I guess Moffat will get the curtains, the old bag. I'll have to tell you all the story sometime. Sure corny. 2 weeks tomorrow since we moved, and it doesn't seem that long at all. Sure nice. I got the crest on my ring changed. 50 cents. You know I wanted it lengthwise. I'd have liked it on a flat signet ring, too, but it's okay for now. I guess the blue stuff came off. I enjoyed Olive's letter, but brief, eh? Nice of her to think of you first. Can you write to her air mail like that yet, or do you know? We finished up the cake last night. Good to the last piece. We really appreciate food. Marion's mother sent us some donuts and a light cake, too. Marion sends you her love. We're really up on our news a lot more since we have a radio. Marshall got my parcel and seemed to appreciate it a lot. Did you ever get the curtains hemmed up? This is about the driest letter, but Mommy dear, I do appreciate yours. Love you very much. Good luck, Bud. 2C. I'd love a letter too. Love, Ruth. 667 University Drive, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, December 6, 1944. Dearest darling mother, oh, Mommy dear, are you ever peaches and cream and everything nice? No kidding, you're the best mother anyone could have anyway. But I've just opened the stockings and they're really lovely. Believe me, I do appreciate them and your trouble in getting them for me. I was getting worried, really and truly. Everyone is in the same boat, but the point is that the legs of mine are okay, but the heel's simply not there. Marion's are all runs, but we have to do. Anyway, I don't mind for school, but there are none I could go out anywhere in. Do believe me, I'll save these. It's that you hate to feel, well, I have no stockings that are decent. I'm glad that I wore leg tan because these are the stockings from spring. I got quite a compliment about my legs, jazzy legs, quite a nice little story, etc. But those are such lovely stockings, Mommy. I can't say enough about them. Oh, school's better. I did get in the decoration mood and did okay. My kiddies said they were proud of me and told me that all the big girls said ours was the nicest. I love them really, the little toadies. However, I'm a big wreck. I'm on recess duty. Boys, and what a job. It's funny, but it's the first time I've had it in a year, 10 months. Before we had a separate one with the little ones. Then it's letter week, exams, art, Christmas decorations, and Marshall's in New York. Marion's given 2 weeks' notice at school. Enough? You see, Marion's cross because she's still not on the permanent staff, and still $120 per year lower than I. So she asked them why I was only 3 months longer teaching, etc., etc. I wish she'd left me out of it. It isn't fair, I guess. I've been on permanent staff a year now. It was a funny thing. I got on with so short a time, as I said before, but I'm not kicking. So I think they'll put her on. I hope so. And if you have any suggestions regarding the problem, hope you like the snaps. The housecoat one was taken especially for Daddy, because I still love my housecoat so much. Marion showed it to her kids, and Jimmy thought it was so nice and asked Marion how long I wore it before I went to bed. My kiddies all brought 4 cents and asked for a copy of the snap. I thought they wanted a class one, but just about died when they all wanted the housecoat one. I got them the class ones. I doubt if the parents would appreciate me in a housecoat. So everything's okay except that I'm so very tired, practicing Christmas concert, etc., costumes, ooh. Mother, I love these children so much that I can't imagine how anyone could live and do a job that didn't have something stimulating like them. I admit I get tired and cross even, but not for long. It reflects too much on them. So I ramble on and my mind's on about a million things, you know. I heard from Alice. Connie sent her an evening in Paris set, and just Connie, love Ruth. She just thanked me and wrote a very newsy letter and asked if I had any suggestions for a man for her graduation dance in January. She says she hasn't seen you. Alice told me about the stocking quota, etc. Mr. Hogg, our landlord, died yesterday. Last week, Kay's dad died. It's funny, on Aird Street, Mrs. Ferrier's sister died and Marion's grandmother. At 818, Mrs. Hall and Sybil's dad, now these two. He was really swell, too. I guess she'll move in now. It's probably funny to me because not much before anything close. I mean friends. Oh, please excuse the jumble, but I go around and around. I loved Bud's note, too, and will write. The Scott rink sounds swell. I'm sorry I have no skates. I take 5.5 off-white semi-speed, but they hardly ever have any anywhere. Say, does Bud think he could get us a wee radio anywhere we could buy? We rent ours and it counts up, but can't do without one. I love you very, very much. Be seeing you, Ruthie. P.S. Marion's rolling her eyes at the stockings and says, "Have you got drag? And if you have any more of those lying around, well, a big hello from her. I burnt my hand, but hope it'll be okay. Marion dropped boiling candy on it, etc. Don't worry, I think it'll be okay. The nurse broke the blisters today. Love, Ruthie." 667 University Drive, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, April 4th, 1945. Dearest Mom, yes, your letter today was certainly quite a surprise. Marion phoned for the mail at recess, and because there was one from Roger, she went home at noon. When she came back, we were in the middle of the teachers' meeting and voting for a rep for the civil service. It was rather funny. Marion had to sit across the room from me and said there were 2 letters for me and 1 from you, etc. We were lip-reading each other and never noticed everyone watching. They all started laughing, and Mr. Downer said, "Now, Ruth, don't ask Marion who to vote for." "Yes, dear, I have the crown, and I bet you're glad, eh? Sorry I worried you about it, though. And I will try to get to the dentist myself soon. Oh, lovely surprise. When I got back some good mail, and best of all, a check for $86.98, a complete income tax from 1943. Really super, eh? I'm going to put it all in the bank. Everyone says, what a swell spring outfit you can get now. But I figured that I'd have got along without more clothes before, and I'll really feel better to have it in the bank in case I want a real holiday, etc. It certainly makes you feel good to be out in the clear and then get a little jump ahead. It's taken 2 years, but really don't feel it's been too bad. We also got our paychecks, so I'll send you the money I owe you too. Oh, how did Bud like the story, and what is he accomplishing? No, Marion did not go home and said she missed me. She threatened to leave if I got my hair cut, and again tonight when I mentioned it, she started to cry, real tears, and said she'd go into a hysterics if I really go through with it. Oh, the deaf boys were at the train to see Billy off, so I had a short conversation with my favorite deaf boy. We sat across from each other and had quite a conversation to everyone else's interest, and today my little boys came in and said that Billy told them he was on the train with me, and oh, he liked me very much. Marion is doing the washing now. I'll post this downtown tonight so you won't be worried about your crown much longer. Oh, Roger might be down this weekend or next, so Marion is happy. Oh, and I had, oh, I'll tell you all about it sometime. I met Mrs. O'Reilly downtown after 4 o'clock, and she really thinks I'm looking well and must go over for dinner. She wants me to go to the coast in August so I can see June, etc., etc. She's really swell. Mr. O'Reilly has been in Regina for a 5 weeks course. Mr. Downer was in at recess and said, "What a nice lot of red hair, etc. And why should some people have so much and some so little, etc., etc." I was amazed completely and slightly embarrassed, but maybe it is just an underwater plot for me not to get my hair cut. Maybe that's it, eh? Oh, I have 9 kitties now, so somewhat better. The kids are just crazy about my blouse, too. Oh, I'm so happy about my $87 extra. It gives me such a different feeling, like a present. I'll have to dash now and hope to have a longer letter from you soon, dear. I had a good time at home and love you very much. Love, Ruthie. P.S. Hello, Bud and Daddy. I'm so glad we didn't have a fight. Thought you might be able to get a film with the coupon. Yes, forgot the marbles. Too heavy to send, though. Ruth. 667 University Drive, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, April 15th, 1945. Dearest Mother, hello, dear. It was really swell of you to write so soon. I'm okay now, just needed your sympathetic letter to do the trick. Sweet of you to suggest coming up whether you meant it or not. We're okay, though. Marion, as I said, was swell. She says that you've already done enough for her, stockings, etc. Before I forget, thanks for the clippings about all the girls. I bet Miss Tyreman's wedding was nice. I was talking to Mr. Oakland, and he mentioned it, and Joyce Coulter's. You'd think Ruth would have come up for it, wouldn't you? I was surprised about Vivian Usher. I guess that accounts for her hat with the flowers and veil over her face. Bonnie and I saw her with her dad in Arends and thought she looked sort of corny dressed so old. Good for her. New York, no less. Oh, the weather is so miserable now. It rained all night and it's just rip-roaring wind now. It blows you all over the place. Wind has always had a bad psychological effect on me, because of the bike, I guess. I'll enclose one of the place cards I made for Leonard's party. Dr. Anderson was supposed to write the names on in fancy script, but he decided not to come to school for a couple of days. His granddaughter had her tonsils out, so he went to bed. There, I had to print the names. I forgot to bring the list of your ladies' bridge club. Do you still want me to make them? If you do, send me the names and give me a few suggestions of what you'd like. I'll enclose a money order for $12.25, the $10 I borrowed, $2 for stockings, and 25 cents interest. Okay? Say, Mom, would you really like to take a trip to the coast? By July, you'd be settled in the house. If you'd like, I'd stay home and pack Pop's lunch, etc. I could take my holiday in August. Think about it if you'd like to, anyway. Again, thanks for being interested. I'm okay now. Still get tired. Just bowled 2 strings yesterday and got played out. 136 and 185. Saw the show Hollywood Canteen and enjoyed it. Bye now. I love you very much, Ruth. P.S. Miriam just phoned she's picking me up in the car. We're going to the symphony tonight. Of all the excitement, Dorothy Thorne, Dr. Thorne's oldest daughter. Sybil's sister is marrying a New Zealand airman and going back to New Zealand with him. She's coming up from Toronto and they're getting married a week from Wednesday. Miriam is going to be bridesmaid. He just got back from England. They can't come into Canada unless they prove they're going to get married. Miriam's guy went back, so she says maybe she'll go down and visit Dot some of these days. Everybody's getting married. Jeepers! The sun's coming out, so maybe the weather will get nicer. Oh, I like the piece so much. The world is waiting for the sunshine. It's on the radio now. Sure lovely. Bye again. Love you, from Ruth. Dear Bud, thanks, little brother, for your very welcome letter yesterday. I was very interested in your marks. You brought your average up from about 60 to 70, which isn't nothing. It's really very good, and I'm glad. Tell me the secret of your success. Was it the card that doed the trick? Anyway, the next 10 marks from 70 to 80 are harder. Do that and anyone can take credit. Concentrate on that geography, algebra, and Latin, and you'll be wearing class pins. Glad you had a good party, and it sounds like the summer ought to prove very interesting at the beach. Oh, do a favor for me if you can. Look up a kid in the annual last year. He was in grade 12 last year, first name Stewart. Stu, Stewie, etc. Do you remember the face at all? Just give me the details you find. You remember what you told me about Miss Hanning? He says it sounds rather impossible as she's very awkward, etc. So enlighten me, please. I saw Miss Bentz on the streetcar looking very dreamy. She didn't even see me. It's funny, but after all these years, she still gives me a little chill. Have to say bye. Write again. Love, Ruth. P.S. Quite something about Dot Ferguson, eh? You chic, you. Quite a compliment, though, or maybe it just proves how bad Regina's man shortage is. Ouch, I'm sorry. You're a cute kid. Anyway, dear, R.S. 667 University Drive, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, April 17th, 1945. Dear Mother, Daddy, and Bud. Hello, how's everything? Oh, I haven't heard from you this week, but I simply had to get this off my chest. No kidding, this is just about the last straw. I know last November when I thought school was getting me down too much, you thought I let things bother me too much. Well, okay. So Moffat's been minding her P's and Q's and everything's been okay, but smoldering ashes doesn't mean the fire's dead. No, really, the old bag just waits her chances. This is really personal, but if I lived at home, I'd blow off steam to you, so... It's about the write-up the school got in the Leader Post last Saturday. I was supposed to get copies from you, but after we read the story, we'd like to burn them all. Now I know how Russia feels at all the different interpretations that come out about the situation inside the country. Maybe you should send me a copy so I can underline the lies and misrepresentations and omissions and send it back to you. Well, anyway, you know the write-up wasn't the picture I gave you of the school, was it? Maybe I'm a liar. Love, Ruthie. To be continued. Now we have two comments from the original publication. The first is from Rosa Tchikolofa in Tomsk, Siberia, Russia. No letters from you as well as issues of memory collections. I'm so much frightened that you will not send them to me at all. I'm so proud to have them, Peter. Again and again I tell about you, your family, and memory collections to my listeners of the refresher courses, and they admire everything. Thank you, my dearest son, for everything you have done for me. I do hope you will write to me. Rosa Tchikolofa, Tomsk, Siberia, Russia. And the next comment is from Ruth Smallshaw Ray, my mother, the author. Dearest Peter, you really do keep things stirred up, but then I guess I do too. I went back into my scrapbook and photo album for photos which I've had copied for you. Also a letter I found in Mother's special drawer. Mother permeated my life so strongly that I don't feel she is far away now. She had died that year. Maybe when we clear out 1251 Argyle Street, it will be hard. I do appreciate your time spent on my letters and glad you think it's a good story. Carried me back. It was so good of Alice to have the masses offered for Mother. The prayer is so lovely, too. Tears. So glad you visited her and also were so wonderful to her at Lakeside and Switzerland, her trip of a lifetime, and sleeping on the beach in the Bahamas. We've just phoned you with your big decision, Guam versus Manila. So sorry it's all been so difficult for you. I can empathize in a way because I've had to reread my letters that you printed out to see what photos you'd like. Too bad you can't look at the album yourself, so I'll send a variety for you to choose for the cover. However, it still bothers me to read about my decision process and its aftermath. Leaving Saskatoon and going to St. Augustine, Florida. There is a destiny which shapes our ends, rough-hewn them how we will. I have missed writing to and hearing from Mother, but so glad I did when I did. So you have nourished the saga and now part of it, and enduring our own karma or Lent or adventure. Glad you thought my story good. My saga. Ruth Smallshaw Ray, Cleveland, Ohio. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Dearest Mother, Love Ruthie. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Mother, 1944, Part 7. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history, if this interests you. Finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, and photographs. And interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care. And I'll see you next time.